Okay, here we are. Second part of our court protocol. Quick recap. I think everybody was there the last time, if I remember right. But just to bring us back into the text, we had a case where a workman in Del Medina had hidden a copper tool in his house due to some recent strife, struggle, unrest in the area. And however, that didn't really help him. He only came to find that the tool had been stolen. After some investigations in the village, eventually somebody accused the citizen, it's a woman by the name of what's her name? Geria, right? Geria, that she had stolen it. Then the court asked her whether this was indeed the case or whether it wasn't. She said no. And next, the court asked whether she'd be willing to actually swear an oath on that. Are you going to swear an oath upon um, the the chisel of Nebnefer? Is it true or is it false? And she basically said she swore an oath that she was not the thief. And I just tried to find that passage again. Where do we have it? Um, Jet Jetten Nesse Takenbet Na or Ene or In actually. This is In. Eye or something, who knows? That's the second person feminine. They don't write che anymore, they just write a vowel, like it would be in Coptic, rech. So can you, this is the question particle, can you, iri or irit, anash, can you make an oath, an anash a great oath, and neb, anachucha seneb, so a great oath upon the Lord, life, prosperity, health. Cherpachal, regarding, concerning the chisel, erjet, to say, namely, ben anak ichaisu. It's not me, the one who stole it, basically. I wasn't the one who stole it. I think that's how far we got the last time. And yeah, let's continue there. I should say something that I was waiting for somebody to ask me what Jet Net is, because that has appeared on multiple pages. If you look closely, it's here. It is, I think I saw it at least 3 times on one page. Here it is again. And if you look in the hieratic, it's really the case that it's there. Not to go into too much of a bunny ride, but let's see if we can find it somewhere in the text. Watch out for a big jet. I think this is one of them. So there's a J, there's a D, there's an N, and there's a T. And that same thing happens multiple times. It doesn't happen in R jet, where he really just writes R and then jet, as you would expect. But whenever he has that N form in there, here, for example, here you can see it beautifully. So that's a J, a D, an N, and a separate T. And I must admit, I'm not 100% sure what that is. First off, what would be jet 10 if the T was atop the N? That could be a relative. And we've seen this a few times. In the beginning, the first time we saw that, I was very confused, like, what is that? And there was a nice article by Pete where he basically explains that, yeah, that's something that you find to introduce a statement, whatever that person said by so and so, or what was said by so and so. So that makes perfect sense in a court environment, but I don't know why they flip it. Graphical reason, question mark, or does it have got something to do with what the scribe thought he heard? But just want to point that out because we completely skipped that the last time. That there's a little bit of a, at least from my perspective, grammatical mystery. But be that as it may, now I've completely lost the plot. Great. Here we go. Aha, jet 10 or jet N? But yeah, who wants to continue? And I'll get the annotation tool out.
So and Jedent Ank.
Yeah, just a moment. Here we go. So N, and I'm gonna say jet 10 this time. Last time I had Jet Dent or something. Um, I mean, yeah, I'll just leave it the way it is. I think we
And
know
then
what
was this an Newt?
that's right. So, Anich,
How was this written?
last time we had Anich Nu Newt, um, following Ramses Online there. hmm
And Harry, is that the name?
Heria.
Heria, yeah.
Mhm.
So and then she spoke in oak,
Oh,
or
remember that expression? Anach in Newt? It's not Anash, it's Onich.
I don't remember what it was.
Um, it's um, it basically it refers to a woman, a freeborn woman. So as a citizen, female citizen, if you wish.
Okay, so then she said to the citizen,
Is it?
Harry,
Yeah. If it were N though, where would that N? If it were two, where would that be? It would probably be after the whole block. So this
okay.
belongs. This is simpler. It is
So
really just
it was said by the citizen,
correct.
Harry.
Yeah. What and then the citizen Harrier said, I think, something like that. Or what was said by the citizen Harrier, something like that.
And I can't read the next bit. It's this.
It's wach. It's hard to see, but it's that sweeping thing, and then a second H, and then a Y1 book roll. So it's just wach again. This one.
I can't remember what walk means.
Wach. So wach is it's a lot of things. It can be to remain in a place. It can be to stop. Uh, it can be to endure. It is normally used to into. I mean, one of the usages is to start an oath. For example, as long as um, a beret endures, and as long as the pharaoh endures, then the following should happen. So it's a very common way how to introduce an oath when people swear, and that's also what it is here. But the general meaning is more like endure, remain, or even stay or hold, like hold it, stop it, things like that.
Okay. So what? Amen.
hmm
I can't remember the next one. It's the loop with the R on top.
It's a
It's
it's
is
a
it what again? Okay.
schwach again.
Okay.
Wach.
Heka?
That's right. Pacheka. Wach Pacheka. Uh-huh.
Quadjet Seneb.
That's right.
Enti
Yeah. And die Ben.
Ben Iver?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Which bird is this? You can see it clearly in the hieratic. It's actually the bad bird. So if you look in the
Okay.
hieratic, it looks like this. Which, well, the whirlbird would look completely different. So it's definitely it's the bad bird. What is the whole thing then, probably? And there's a little tick here, which tells you Gardner also, or whoever. No, who made this one? It's not Gardner. Or is it? Never mind. Whoever transcribed the text also thought this was unusual. It's a word that has
Mm.
B, N, and reed leaf in it, and it ends in the bad bird.
Is it just bad?
It is. It's just been bad, and it's just spelled kind of backwards.
Okay. Then the Pife.
Indeed.
And then is it Bow or something like that?
It is bow. You got it.
It is Bow. Okay.
Let me zoom out a bit because I actually glossed that. Uh, Sorry about that. Can I make this better? Just put it up here. Okay. Bow.
Bau met.
That's right. Uh, yeah. What? Yeah, and then?
Perol.
Hmm.
Ank Wajab Sendib.
And let's pause here, I think. Yeah.
So an oath to Amun, an oath to the ruler, life, prosperity, health, which is bad. His power over death. I'm not getting this one.
You're close, but there's a few tricks in there. Um, let's take the last part apart first. So if you had been by Bau Ermut, what would that just forget about everything else? If you just were confronted with this, what do you think that could mean?
That is his power towards death, but
Yeah. Now, adjectives with R, um, the R has a special meaning. Like nefer, paif, pau, er, I don't know, getnebet or something.
uh,
Okay, no worries. It's the way how you build a comparative in Egyptian. So if you want to say something is
oh
better than
yeah, okay.
something else, then you use like adjective, the something something, and then something else, and then just make bean or beni or whatever, make it into maybe terrible or fearsome, and then I think it makes more sense. So bean, pipe,
So a
bow.
fear is judgment more than that, or is punishment more than that.
Correct. So like his power is more terrible than
Yeah.
death, basically. Is more fearsome than death. Okay, now you're gonna take that and you put it after an enti. Um, enti bin paif bau ermut. This is completely messing with your head because it's so different from English. But it actually makes sense when you think about it the Egyptian way.
So a promise made to Amun and promise made to the ruler, and his punishment is I fear more than that.
Kinda, although that's very free. Let me try to do it this way.
Mm.
So as long as Amun endures, as long as the ruler endures, the witch, his power is more fearsome than death. Basically, whose power is more fearsome than death? In English, we have to do it with a whose because our relative sentences were completely different. But so literally, it says which fearsome his power more, compared to death. It's like completely different. But if you make it that way with whose into English, that suddenly makes sense. As Amun endures, as the ruler endures, whose power is more fearsome than death?
The pharaoh, life, prosperity, health.
Exactly. Right. So yeah, this is a little bit of a bugbear. That's why I had to smile halfway through. But you really have to read it like an Egyptian relative sentence. Does that questions about this one? Does that one make sense? Maybe an important thing to point out. So Wach really is it's some kind of Sejm F. Wach Amun. As long as Amun endures. Wach Pahak Echeka. As long as the ruler endures. So this is more like this is probably, I think it's a perspective, maybe? I think it's an independent perspective. Um, so that's really how this works grammatically. All right, then let's move on. So as long as that is the case, then what should happen? Normally, the next part comes with a subjunctive. Not subjunctive, I'm sorry, with a conjunctive. Geez, I always mess that up. So normally it's like wach something something, and then the next part normally is with a conjunctive.
Well, there's an to
That's right.
next.
That's correct. Hang
If I
on.
made that in because I can see it.
Um,
E02 gem.
M22, Gem, yeah.
Now I'm a bit having difficulty reading the next bit, let alone translating it.
This thing here is abjad, the conjunction that, just like that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. It has no, it's scratched out partially because it's at the edge of the
right.
I think.
What's the little thing in front of it?
Oh, that just says recto. Because we're still on the recto side of the Ostracon. So recto number 11, he's basically telling you that
Oh, right.
this is where the
Yeah,
line starts,
yeah.
line 11. Mm-hmm.
Jed Inek.
Jet, Enek. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ipa.
Yeah,
Inek.
which bird is this? Pa would look like this in his transcription. It's this birdie.
It's the itchy bird.
It's the itchy bird, that's right. It's this one. Uh, so it's a charbird or itch. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That one. Oh, Chris, you're on mute. I don't know why.
Am I off mute now?
I think so.
All right. I just wasn't holding the space bar hard enough.
Oh, that's how you do it. Yeah.
Oh, well, I just discovered it's easier than switching mute on and off.
Gotcha. Good point. Okay.
Um, yeah, so hang on, I must find where we got to again. I- Inek,
Mm-hmm.
Ichai,
That's right.
Pi, Ho.
That's right. Uh,
Now, I translate that into a sentence.
mhm.
And and one finds that I stole the chisel.
Exactly. As simple as that. Mhm. So as long as Amun endures or as Amun endures, and if one finds, normally it's easier to
Yeah,
translate that conjunctive than as an if. If one finds that I am the one who stole the chisel, so this is a nominal
yeah,
sentence. Anak ichai pachal. So I, the one who stole the chisel. Yeah, and then we're running into a bit of a problem because the consequence is not actually indicated. Let me show you where that is on the um, on the piece itself. So if we zoom in a little bit here, here's the Amun. So the Wach is somewhere here. It's very hard to read. Wach Amun, Wach, and then the Pa Heka. He actually went on Wach Pa Eti. Biene, Paif Bau. And then he later added the Heka on Heka Anahuja Seneb on top. So that's actually an interpolation, oh, not interpolation, but it's a correction. So basically, originally he wrote, and as long as the one lives or endures, whose power is more fearsome than death. Okay, then what do we have here? What do we have here? Here's the Kime. I'm trying to read this stuff in between. Oh, this is just the Paro, of course, over here. Um, but what comes before the? Oh, this is just the end of eh? Yes, Ermut, of course. The Bau Ermut. Now it makes sense. This is just this is that stick at the end, the death stick. So Mut. I was a little bit thrown off by that ligature with the giant T under the M, to be honest. So M, T, dash stick, Pharaoh, Life, Health, Prosperity. M22, you can see the M22. Gammy, Gammy what? Gammy something. Something he is missing, right? Probably our jet, because this looks like jet. Then this is Anak. So Anak. Ichai, here's the charbird. Ichai pa. This is a ch. Let me write this out. It almost looks like a like a reed leaf, but I think what it's supposed to be is this. Pa cha, then a determinative stroke. And I guess this is the determinative that comes at the end. Looks almost like a bow to me, but apparently that's the copper sign. Now, in any case, what I really wanted to direct your attention to is the consequence is missing. So there's like a long blank, and I don't know why. Was that supposed to be added? It doesn't look like it has been removed,
Yeah.
but
It was too terrible to write down.
maybe. I mean, I don't know what to think of this, but it's definitely not there, right? Normally, I would say something, then I should be subject to 100 blows, or I should pay 3 times what I like. For example, when you those kind of things where you say that if I make this accusation and it turns out that it's not true or the like, then like I should have 3 times the penalty or something of that nature. That's what I would expect here. There's nothing. You can't really see that in our edition of the text, which doesn't indicate like the huge gap. That's why I wanted to show you guys that. So there should be some kind of consequence that's not indicated. But yeah, like you said, something should happen, something terrible. We don't know what it is. But let's go back to our text.
Where is here?
Right after recto
Oh,
trial.
right, there's the hole.
Mhm.
And then it's hair.
Hair, yeah.
Just then,
Ja.
ear sa
Mhm.
winut.
Mhm.
Oh, oh. And you,
Ja.
taken bet,
Mhm.
meter.
Did you say symmetra?
I think it's some, yes, I forgot the s, but it's symmet.
Maybe even symmetry.
Winut, symmetry.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, symmetry set, that's right. Like this maybe, yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Well, now go on a bit further. That makes more sense if you go on, I think. Oh, and you.
let me take a rest.
Mhm.
Aaron's always very good.
We don't have a call a friend rule. Like
Phone a friend. Symmetry set E02
Mhm.
Herdit
Mhm.
Henu.
It Genu, yes, very good. Mhm.
Shemsu.
That's right.
Shems.
Yeah, and the U is not spelled, but yeah, it should be
Yeah.
there. Mhm.
Is that mech?
This is shed. This is it looks like a mech, but it's the shed glyph.
Oh, shed. Okay. Oh, it's a name. Okay, Pashed.
Pashedu, yeah. Pashed, you're right. Mhm. Pashed, yeah.
Iram. Huh?
Irem is correct.
Oh, it's just Iram. Okay. Iram set.
That's right. Irem said. All right. Let's pause here. So the second part is actually easier than the first. What do you think U2 Hadid Henu Shemisu Pashet Iremse mean?
Then one. Well, is this Henu as in run?
Yeah. Run, haste, hurry, or simply go, honestly. It seems to indicate going with a certain degree of urgency.
Who's this guy? This attendant Pashed.
That's what he is. He's the attendant Pashed.
Okay, so then one will have the attendant Pashed run with it. What?
With it or
With her?
with her. Mhm. And now if you make it run into go, so
Go
um,
her.
mhm. Yeah. So apparently an attendant of the court is going with her someplace. Is this future or is this past narration?
Past narration.
Yes. So one made the attendant Pashet go with her basically to something, to some place. We don't know where yet. Let's look at the first part.
Your son, is this after?
Mhm. And after?
After
Mhm.
after Wenut, forget which one this is. Morning, day, hour. It's a time word. I can't remember which one though.
I see Chris saying hour. Yes, it's hour.
Okay. After an hour, the court Semtree, I don't know.
Investigate. Yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
Investigate. Well, I guess it could be her or it. It could be the matter being referred to as it, or it could be her.
And the interesting thing is in late Egyptian, actually, the indefinite is masculine, unlike in Middle Egyptian.
Oh,
So this is probably it. Probably her.
oh, her
Yeah.
then.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
So after an hour, the court investigating her, the attendant Pashed,
Was sent.
what that was sent away with her.
Correct. Something like that. Makes sense. Makes
Okay.
sense. So the court investigated her for an hour, probably, which is probably not the most pleasant process. And then sent gave that the attendant, Pashem. I think I missed something here, right? No, Pashet. Here we go. Pashet, like went with her or. Mhm. Yeah, rushed with her. Where to, we don't know, but it's going to become obvious in the next part of the story. Okay. Let's quickly talk grammar. So this here, E02 hadith, that's just a past narration. And as always, the deed is followed by a subjunctive, a dependent subjunctive. That's why we picked that text in the first place, because there's a whole bunch of dependent subjunctives in there. So it's basically gave that he hurried, namely the attendant Pashet, with her. Okay. All right. Somebody want to continue? We're going over to the next page, so
Y'all go.
all right.
All right. So we have you set here.
You said head. So somebody's doing something. You said head. Let's go over. Hang on. Let me bring this with me. X. Yes.
And you set here.
Just a moment. I'll just type it again.
We have Eni.
That's right. Any.
And our word for chisel here is it how wait no. Oh, ka. And then
Let's continue here.
right, then we have UF. F. And that looks like D mesh shoe. Was that a D in front of that? No, that's not a D. It's a D.
It's a T, right? Timesu.
Su.
Timesu.
Timasu M. DS Hena. DS.
Very good.
Wa Washabu.
That's right. Washeb. Shebu. Yeah.
Washabu.
Which is also some copper thing, as you can tell by the copper sign. And honestly, that's all we know about it. It's some type of copper vessel. I don't think we know what it looks like. It's some kind of copper object. Not just any Washabu, but in Washab.
Ni Imen.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Ni Chinehi. Chine.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Chenechi.
Nefer.
That's right. And I had to look this up. Apparently, that is a local form of Amun. There are lots of different forms of Amun, of the gods in general, like local veneration. I guess we have that with Catholics titles too. I don't know, like Maria del Pilar or something like this. I'm not firm in this. This is not my world, but so yeah, this one is Amun in Chechenefre, Amun of the Good Encounter.
Hmm.
That's all I know about him. But
So
so
when you
yeah,
say form, you mean like an idol, or like an attribute of Amun, some local.
I suspect it's probably like a local shrine with a certain form of Amun. That's what I'm guessing. Um, but I don't know this. If anybody knows something about this, how that works. I know there are different forms basically. Amun of so and so of so and so. But I think it's all the same Amun. It's just it's our Amun, our local Amun.
Now, do you think it's like Our Lady of Lourdes or something?
That's exactly that's what I was trying to go with Maria del Pilar before. It's like Our Lady of Lourdes, the perfect example. It's still the same lady. She's not different from from the lady overall, but this is the one of Lourdes. Yeah, I think it's like that. Very good analogy. All right, what does the whole thing mean?
So we have, and she brought,
Hmm.
or she carried, I guess, the copper, the chisel, the
Hmm.
copper chisel, and he, UF, Chimesu, um, Chimesu, don't know Chimesu.
To be in that yeah, to be buried. Yeah, buried. Tombs in if I'm not mistaken in Coptic.
And he buried MDS with it, or not with it, um, indecent. No. And he buried, let me look at the glyphs. Uh, he gave, oh no, wait.
Mhm. Let me help you out. The EUF, whom could it be referring to? More than one possible thing.
Is it the chisel? Is it the,
Exactly. I mean, technically, it could also be Pashed. That's the only other masculine noun around. But yes, we just talked about Pachal, the chisel. So it's probably the chisel.
right? And then with the copper vessel, along with, and it was put along with the copper vessel. And he
Possible?
oh, no, that's an M. Is that an M of negation there, or is this an M? Oh no, it's part of decent. Decent. I think my Middle Egyptian is crossing over with it. Doesn't MD also mean like along with or accompanying or something like that? Or
Yes. MD is with along with.
so this along with, so along with Hana, so MD Hana, is that like a long way of saying with, or
I would say honestly, now I think about it, this should really just be with. And I'm saying that because of the pronoun. It's MDS.
mhm.
So who is S?
Is it the chisel also? Is it oh no, not the chisel.
Can't be.
See, I went literal for a minute, and it's in her hand. He didn't bury her, of course not.
No. We're not that extreme. Um,
Along
Let me
with,
help you out a little bit. What if the Temisu was not to bury, infinitive, but what if it was a stative?
so I mean, it would be buried, right? So it's in a state, it's buried already. So
You have Temisu MDs.
Wait, this is a subject, not a subject stative. He buried along with it a copper vessel. The MDS this keeps throwing. Well, let's see here. So this is stative. And it was buried. It was buried also with a copper vessel.
That's right. That's right. You had the first part absolutely right. And she brought the chisel. You have Temesu imdis Kenawa Weshep and Amun.
And she brought the copper chisel, and then it was buried.
It was buried.
This MC Hana, along with also with a copper vessel. Imdis. Yeah.
You're so close.
Yes.
What?
Can I just be?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just be literal for a second? So when I see MDS, it looks like in its hand or along like with it or with her.
That's right, and that's it with her. I mean, you could honestly the sentence would even work without without MD. Let me take it out for a moment. If you just had that, you have Temesu Hinawaweshep in Yamun. What would that be?
And he buried. I guess there'll have to be something after that. There's a stative, and it is that that's it. And he buried it along with a copper vessel or a copper vessel, a vessel of copper.
And if it was stative, it would be it was buried, right? It was buried with a copper vessel of Amun. And that's what it is. So it's basically it was buried with her together with a copper vessel of Amun. So basically that's how they found it. She had hidden it in her house, presumably, or someplace, who knows where, together with a worship and Amun in Chichen Nafet. So I think this is referring back to the Chal. Yeah, I think that's what it is. So this is not a new action. This is how they found the situation, how they found the whole thing. I think that's that would be the sequence of events. So she produced the chisel, which had been buried essentially. This is maybe a better way how to say it in English. Does that seem logical?
It's buried with her.
Yeah, with her in the sense of that the lady was buried. I mean that's
I was going to ask you, right? The lady was buried.
That sounds very cool. No, it's just basically I think they had used the same vocabulary item in the beginning when let me get there. In the very beginning when Panefer said no Nebnefer said when Nebnefer said Iranak, as for me, Chemesu Wachal Anak Empaiper. Basically, I had buried a chisel of mine in my house, basically. And I think it's basically the same phrasing here. He had hidden it, she had stolen it, then she had hidden it basically in her place, and that's what she's producing now. She's presenting the chisel that she had buried and with herself, I mean, at her place, together with a worship and Amun. That's how I would read it, at least.
So this term for buried, is it literal burial or is it like kind of a way of
Dug in. I mean, that's a good question.
kind of idiomatic expression?
Yeah, bury in the sense of like how you would bury a treasure or I don't know, some potatoes. Anything that goes under the ground, not in the sense of burial rites. I just take it to mean like hide underground, basically. I think it's a good question. How is Jemison used? Fair question. I wouldn't be able to tell you. but let's find out. Chemis. Ramses online. Nope, not this one. Temis. Enterré, there we go. So a single sentence, that's not great. Let's see what the situation though is. I don't quite recall. What is this? Oh, this is Horus and Seth. And he sees them. You have Mech Imoth, or seized it. You have Hudef Cheryatev Cherpachu. Okay. You have Heruid Ujaf Snow Msetu. This is when I think when Seth attacks Horus, isn't it? You have Temisu Cherpaju Ersechachtar. Literally, and he buried them, namely, I think the Wajad eyes of Horus. He buried them upon the mountain to Ersechachtar to illuminate the earth. Okay. And then the eyes transform themselves into something, some kind of whatever bourgeon is. Okay. So yeah, I mean, almost like to hide more than anything, put away. But literally, yeah, to put it underground. Let's do one more here. Thomas.
I'm surprised they haven't got more references
Me
because
too.
there's another court case we've looked at about someone gave a coffin to somebody else's mother to bury her.
Oh, and that's
Bessie occurs in that record.
very cool. Very cool. Here we go,
Could
Thomas.
this, could this also have to do with I know I was looking at a program about the inhabitants of Deir el Medina, and it was saying how some of their households had these underground places where they would store stuff at, food or I guess whatever other items. So is that what they're talking about? Bury under the ground or
Maybe that's a great idea. Could be. Yeah, they had these storage chambers, right, underground. Maybe that's where it went. Possible. That would actually make a lot of sense. I was having a hard time seeing somebody digging a hole in the ground. Oh, that
right?
could be, right? But you're right, there's already a hole there. True. I mean, these are all Thomas are really all burials. Looking at these here, like we buried him, we took the body and I buried it in my hand. Actually, I remember that story. That is Onofrius. Yeah. Okay. So basically, maybe she hid it underground could also be a way how to say it. And together with a vessel of Amun, which is a bit difficult, is a bit troublesome because now you're stealing from a temple. So this has gone up from just theft of private property. Now you're also stealing holy objects, which is a little bit more serious. Okay. Should we go on a little bit?
Sure.
Okay, great. Why can't I take this line away? There we go, finally. Okay.
All right. So we're at this EU here, right? Yeah, there we go. So EU.
You.
And then we have Ichai Set.
Chisel.
And that looks like Anan. Is that Anan?
Anan, which is another word that we don't really know. I've seen speculation that's a lid, that's a ring, that's the base. and it goes all the way to the copper sign here. So it's another copper object. The anan,
Anan, and then ba washbu again. Washabu.
that's right. And power shabu.
Shabu. The iman.
That's right. Aman.
Okay, I'm sorry. KRI.
Oh, I would pause here.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then I guess, and so we have the U, Ichai, stole, or not, took,
No, stole.
stole it, this thing again, you just mentioned here, this Anan of the copper vessel of Amun. The copper vessel of Amun. No, not of, to the copper vessel of Amun.
No, you're right. Only question I have is what is this here? The set, is it really it, or is there something else going on? Because it is you, Ichais. I already sort of gave it away by putting a dot there. I mean, this is the direct object, right? That was stolen.
Oh, and she,
Anan. That's right.
She took it, yeah, sorry.
Correct. It's a past HMF. So her having stolen the Anan of the worship of Amun. Terrible that we don't quite know what these are, but basically, so she stole another thing that came with it as well. So yeah, not looking good. I think we can get one more in.
Keep going.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then we have KRI set.
Set.
We have here KRI set ang ea or a.
Very good.
Ni neb ang huja seneb erjed.
Oh yeah, there's an Jet. I completely forgot about that.
Ben inuk icha. Ben inuk icha. Pai hel. Pai hel. This.
Actually, the Ha is there the whole time. The L isn't there. I keep doing that so wrong. Okay, yeah. Okay, what does that probably mean?
Let's go back here. Okay, and she made, like she prepared or made another great oath, or prepared or made a great oath to the Lord. Huja Seneb. I guess saying Ben Inuk, I did not take, or I did not steal. Well, she didn't say there's no I. Oh, yes, it is there. Inuk, sorry. I did not steal this chisel or this copper chisel.
Close. Two little grammatical corrections. The last one, anak ben anak ichai paichal. If you wanted to say I didn't steal, you would probably say MP. I mean, what is it? Bupui, no? Bupui ichai, something like that. I'm not sure if you have the E there. I think so. Bupui ichai paichal. That would be I haven't stolen it.
So the Ben Inuk would be something like it wasn't me, or
yes, it wasn't. I'm not the one who stole the chisel. The other thing you had translated, she made another oath. Look at the form here carefully. It says irise anach a. What verb form is this probably? It is not. It is not use iri, which would be she made an oath, but it is you irise.
Looking at the words, it's not a participle, is it? Because these these E's on it here. Oh, and that wouldn't be passive either.
Correct, not a passive either. It's something very simple.
I don't want to say it's such a mess because the set at the end.
Don't be thrown off by the T. They just do that because it's pronounced S at this point in time. So it's really EDS. That's what it is. And you're right, it's a Sedgemoth. It's just a past tense Sedgemoth. And her having made basically a great oath upon the Lord. So that's now a tricky thing about her. Her normally means and, or could be while, or even but. So it's just like a general connector to indicate this other thing happened. So basically, let's recap. They go presumably to her house, right? We don't know that, but the attendant Pachette has been sent with her, and she brought the chisel that had been buried, that was buried with her, together with one bishop of Amun. She had buried with the circumstantial, her having buried it in her house, right? Having buried it doesn't say. Wait. Now I'm mixing something up. What is this here, Thomas? You Chimisuse.
Isn't it Temsu buried them?
Yes, thank you. That's it. That's just it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that doesn't make sense.
Doesn't it?
No, because
This one.
the object would have to be. Oh, this is actually an interesting problem I didn't notice before. Uchemisu, what could that be? If this were buried them, I mean, she buried them. If that were Sejum F, a past tense Sejum F, it would have to be Chemise or something. Oh, you think this is the plural? No, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. This is interesting. What is that?
It's like the object and the subject are reversed.
Correct.
Yeah.
That wouldn't work. Huh.
No, wait, let me think. Wouldn't it work because the object is a suffix pronoun, so the subject can't come before it?
Only for nominal subjects, right? But here it is. All right, let's take this apart. This is a really good question. I didn't notice. So empa. This is also weird. Empas. This should be empais, but let's say that's correct. Empais per in her house. So that part is certain. And then this part is also certain. Here's something missing at the beginning. And we think it is a U, but we actually don't know this. We don't know this. There's something, Chemesu set. But if it's just Chemesu set, then it has no object. That is very interesting.
That's why I think those plural strokes are the third person direct object. Because
That's
otherwise,
true.
I don't know what those plural strokes are doing.
Hmm.
So temasu, yeah, then suffix u, set. What kind of verb? What's the verb here? What is temasu?
To bury?
No, but
Oh,
I mean, what's the
stative.
Oh.
form?
That's what I don't know.
Didn't say it was a stative.
That, I don't know. At first I thought it was. I mean, didn't we just have that before? Here, yeah, this one. There I thought it was a stative, yes. UF Chemisu. And this doesn't have plural strokes though, to your point, Evan. This one does.
Right. That's why I'm thinking it's an object, but then that would only make sense if it were an infinitive, right? Isn't it the infinitive that takes the object as a suffix pronoun?
That's right. Only the infinitive would do that. So then the set couldn't be the object, the subject. Oh, this is an interesting conundrum. I don't know what to think right now. Let's
Can we
check.
look at it in a hieratic maybe?
Because it would have to be eus temsu u pius per. That would make sense.
Could the oo possibly be a part of a participle in the plural? They being buried? I'm groping.
Yeah, but what would the set be in all these circumstances? Where are we anyways? We're here, right? I think we're here.
Yeah, I see it.
This is the mess. This is the mess cliff here. So this with some goodwill is the cha. I mean the cha. So hang on, let me make it. I think this way we can see everything. So this, I would say, could well be a cha. Yeah, it is a cha. Or T, I should say. T mesesu. And then there's something after the U actually. Oh, that's just a Y1 according to transcription. That makes sense. So Chimechesu. These are plural strokes. I would say so. Chimechesu set. M. That is an M. M pa. This could be a little R. M passe. Passe per. I mean, the reading looks convincing. We don't know what happened here at the beginning at all. It's completely gone. So we can reconstruct that whichever way we want. But the problem remains. Why does he write it with plural strokes over here? And what is the set doing in between? That is very interesting, and I don't know what that would be. Maybe a problem for in 2 weeks. I really don't know right now, and we're way over time. Let's come back to that, but thanks for pointing that out. I mean, it's clear what happened here in terms of the sense of it. Obviously, these objects were hidden somewhere in her house, presumably, or hidden somewhere under her control. And she had taken like at least 2 different objects of the what should belong to the temple of this local form of a moon. And while she had made an oath, I would take this where I really wanted to go was KRI IV. I think this is basically a past Sejamef that says, while she had made a great oath to the Lord to say that it wasn't me. So that's the main problem. Not only had she had stolen also ritual objects and also made a holy oath that wasn't hers. So this case has gone significantly worse from what we thought it was initially. That being said, the grammar is interesting. Okay, let's pick that up in 2 weeks, let's say. And then I think that we can finish it. We're like 2/3 through. Just one last piece. All good?
Great.
That was good.
Thanks all. See you soon.
Very interesting.
Have a-
Yeah.
Yep.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.